Yeah, so my project is called Rise and Shine, the journey to constant growth and improvement. And I'll be telling you guys shortly why I chose this project and what it means to me. So recently I was looking for quotes about, self-confidence, because it means a lot to me. And over time, I've realized how important it is. And I came across this really wonderful quote by Dalai Lama, which says, with the realization of one's own potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. So through my project, I hope to, bring a change in someone's life, some teenager's life, because if I'm able to do that, it would mean a lot to me, because of, what I faced as a teenager. It would mean a lot to me if I can, bring about a positive change in someone else's life. And if if I can even, take a small step in making the world a better place. So firstly, I would like to tell a bit about how I was as a child and as a teenager. Usually people say that there are so many children who are so talented, they are born with so many talents, but I don't think I was one of them. I had to work very hard to build my skills and, my talents. And um, but I did have one skill, and that was leadership. Usually when children go to school on their first day, they cry and they are not willing to go to school, or they don't want to let go of their parents because they are very scared. It will be a new place, there'll be new people. But I wasn't like that. On the first day of my school, I was trying to console the children who were crying. I was telling them not to cry, that it was okay. So, that is who I was as a kid. And I've heard of so many incidents and tales from my parents that tell me that I was a leader even when I was young. But as I started growing up, I became really conscious and I changed a lot. I did not like how I looked, and I had acne all over my face. I had a lot of baby fat. I was really short, and because of all these things, I started hunching as well. And I was really, really underconfident, basically. And it was so bad that I even had trouble having one-on-one conversations. I was really shy, and I stopped talking to people at all. And the people who knew me earlier, my relatives and all, even they would say that, what has happened to her? She has changed so much. She used to talk so much as a kid. I don't know what has happened to her. Why does she not talk anymore? And I would not say anything. And not just this, even when people told me that, I could not achieve a certain thing, or I should not do a certain thing, I would just believe them, and I would think, yeah, maybe they are right. I should not try this. I wouldn't be able to do that. So that is how it was. And giving you an example from my school, we were a class of 30 students, and I was so quiet and shy that even in that class there were so many people who did not know of my existence, even though I had spoken to them. And this has really happened, that someone mentioned my name, and someone from my class was not aware of who this girl Payal was. And that person asked, "Who's Payal?" And my friend said, "She's your classmate, you don't know her?" And I'd spoken to this person. So that is the kind of impact I would leave. I was so shy that I would not talk. I would just sit in one corner of the class and would never express my opinions or anything. So it was like, it was pretty bad actually. That is not how any teenager would want to be, so underconfident and, not able to express their opinions. And even if someone would tell me something and I knew it was wrong, that I should react, I should, put forward my opinion, I wouldn't do that because I was so scared of expressing myself. I just wouldn't. But then, eventually I realized that I had had enough of this, was within my control. So I started working on myself, and it wasn't an easy journey. It was really difficult because I did not know how to go about it. There was no one to help me as such, because there were a lot of people who did support me, who told me I could do it, that I was good. But I myself didn't believe that I was good enough. And, when you don't believe in yourself, it's very difficult for the world to believe in you. So that is what happened with me. Like, people used to think she's really quiet, so she doesn't have opinions, she's not intelligent. But that was not true. Usually they say the quietest people are the ones who are the most observant. And that is really true. I do agree with that. So, this is how it was. But I started working on myself. I wanted to change. And slowly, when I started seeing the improvements in myself, I knew that, this was really good. It was changing me slowly and steadily. And that is how I developed the passion to, keep growing, to keep improving. And now I'm someone who is always aware of my weaknesses and my strengths. And at every point of time, I, work on at least a small thing. Maybe it might not be something very big, but I'm always working on something or the other. And I just love it so, so much. And this is why, so yeah, initially I did not know there were more people like me, but I was just, one second, how do I, why is this stuck? Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. Sorry, yeah. So I was just researching about this project. So I came to know that I was not the only teenager who felt this way. There is this website called Stages of Life, and they did this survey with over 80,000 students. And they got to know that 95% of the teens have felt inferior at some point of their time. And these are just teens, so there might be so many other people who don't fall in their bracket, who must have felt this way. And the teenagers, all the people who were part of this survey, they were asked to list down three major causes of three major things that made them feel inferior. And most of them said that it was appearance, and many, like 49% said it was because of their abilities, 38% said it was because of intelligence, and 35% because of size. So I was not the only one who, was conscious of their appearance. Obviously, there was not just one reason, there were many other reasons as well that made me feel inferior. But obviously it's like a domino effect. It's like so many things together that, they add up, and then it's like so difficult sort of thing. So yeah, this is what it is. And that's not the worst part. The worst bit is 41% of the students, 41% of the teens, they said that they have also tried making someone else feel inferior. And most of them said that it was because of the way they felt. It would make them feel better. They felt that it would make them feel better if they made someone else feel inferior. So you can understand how bad this is. It not only makes low self-esteem, something like low self-confidence or low self-esteem can not only make one feel bad about themselves, but it can also make them, try to feel someone else, make them feel bad. And also, one very shocking thing, about 20% of the teenagers will experience depression before they reach adulthood. So that is like something really, really serious, because we know it's like very, very difficult to, come out of something as serious as depression. And if one develops depression at such an early stage, it's even more difficult. So that is why I have chosen the project that I have, and I'll be telling you a bit about who it is for, and where I'll be doing it, and when I'll be doing it. So, giving a bit of a background, on the first day of our youth leadership, Leah had mentioned that we'll be doing a youth social impact project. And while I was sitting for the session, I don't know, I just had this flashback, and I started thinking of, my school days, and how I was, and how I faced so much trouble coming out of my situation. So I was thinking about it, all these things, and about how there was no one to help me come out of it. I had to struggle on my own, and it was really difficult. Though that experience has, made me grow so, so much, but still I wouldn't want anyone to go through it. And that is when I knew that this is what I want to take up. I will be doing this. So that is when I decided this, and I specifically have chosen teenagers for it, because I feel teenage is a very, very important stage of life, and what you do at that point of time will help you in the future as well. For instance, I faced troubles in my teenage, but I was able to overcome it. So now I do have the confidence that, we all know that life isn't a bed of roses. but I do have the confidence that, yeah, if I could go through that and become the person that I am today, I can surely, come out of this as well. But similarly, if you have problems in your teenage or at a young age, and if no one helps you come out of it, or if you're not able to help yourself come out of it, then those problems will just keep on multiplying. And as you grow older and older, you will have to, go ahead with that emotional baggage, and it will be so, so very difficult. So that is the reason I have chosen teens for my project. So people between the age of 13 to 19. And I have specifically chosen people from the underprivileged backgrounds because, in my country, India, there are so many people who don't even have proper access to education. Their parents may not be able to afford it. And I was someone who was from a private school, and thankfully my parents could afford all that, but still I faced so many issues. And when I think of someone whose parents may not even be able to afford education for them, and when I think of their confidence levels, or their ambitions, it's really sad, because who's going to help them? Maybe because someone who is privileged enough to afford classes or something for their development, even they have so many issues nowadays. But what about people who can't afford it? What about them? So I want to be someone who can think of these people and do something for them. My parents have always taught me to, give back to the society, and we were also taught this in the youth leadership program. So I do want to do that, because in my past, since a very young age, like since quite many years, I have always tried helping such students financially, the ones who can't afford education. Once in a while I do try helping them, but I've never done something of this sort where I go and volunteer or try helping someone out. So now I want to be able to do that as well, because giving money is good, it is good, it's better than doing nothing. But still, volunteering is obviously better. Giving your time is the most precious thing, which you can't equate that to just giving money. Anyone can give away money, anyone who has it, but giving time is something different. It's obviously more precious. So that is why I chose teens from the underprivileged backgrounds. And where will it take place? I want to take this offline, because firstly, I'm someone who gets really, really conscious on camera. I still prefer, talking to people one on one. Cameras make me really conscious, and somehow, since my target is the underprivileged teenagers, I don't want anyone to miss out on this because of some issues such as network connection or something of that sort. So I want to make sure this is available to everyone. And also, I somehow am a little old fashioned, and I prefer offline things rather than, Zoom or something of that sort. So I don't know, it just adds a personal touch. So that is why I want to take this offline, and with certain NGOs that can probably help me out with the students, if they have such students who fall in that age bracket, I would love to do that. And when? Yeah, that's a good question, because as we all know, this corona thing has just, it was so sudden, and it's still going on. So I wouldn't be able to take this up till the vaccines are out and everything's a bit better. But I really hope to do this soon, because I I just, there's so many people to help, and even if I can take a small step at a time, it will just make me really happy, because uh, when you work so much on yourself, and if your knowledge can help someone even a bit, it I think it will be really amazing. Like, I will have to experience it surely, but yeah, I think it will be really good, and it will make me really happy. So yeah, that is there. And taking you through the objectives of my project. So first is to develop self-awareness, because over the years I've realized that developing self-awareness is really important, because when you start working, the first step to work on yourself is to know that there is something wrong, or something not necessarily wrong actually, that is just a perspective, something that you would want to change, something that you would want to improve. So that is the first step. Until you don't know that you may want to change something, or you want to be better at something, you can't do that. So self awareness is very important aspect. And over the years, I've just, tried becoming more and more self-aware. And actually, even our youth leadership program, the first half of it focused mainly on self-awareness and on self-leadership. Because, if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead anyone else. And that is really very important in today's world. You have to be self-aware. You need to be aware of the environment, obviously, but firstly, you need to be aware of yourself. Because the world outside can tell you anything, and you should know whether they are right or not. For instance, many a times, even now, people, they tell me, okay, this or something, then I think about it, and I think whether I really need to change that thing, or whether they're just someone who wants to talk, sort of thing. And if I actually feel I want to change this and I need to change it, I try working on it. Maybe it might not be easy, some things might take ages, to work on. But the first step is self awareness. You need to know that you want to change this thing or work on it. So that will be one of the objectives of this program. The second will be to make them understand the importance of mental health, because we all know that mental health is very important. And in earlier times, there used to be the stigma about mental health. People used to not talk about it. It was not okay to talk about it. That is there still in today's world, but still it has reduced. And now people are starting to understand that it's so very important to have a good mental health. Because you may have a lot of money, you may have everything that you want, but if you don't have good mental health, then that can be an issue. So I would want to tell them about this, because if you know of such things from a younger age, I think it helps you a lot. Like, I did not know about these things. And I am starting to, I have realized all these things now, but had I known about these things back then, it would have helped so much more, you know. So that is there. And plus, third, I would want to tell them how important it is to grow constantly. Because, if you have the drive within you that, yeah, I want to grow, I want to keep growing, I don't want to stop, that is very important in today's world. Because it's today's world is so very competitive. People all around are so very good. But I'm not saying that you should try comparing yourself with others, or you should say that, oh, this person's better, or there'll be someone who will always be better than you. But what I feel is that one should focus on themselves, and every day they should try being a better version of themselves. Because at the end of the day, we should know that we are good enough, or that we have come a long way. And it doesn't matter if someone else thinks that you have not grown much or whatever. So it should be for yourself alone that you want to grow. And I'm really happy that through some incidents, I came to such a state that I did want to grow, and I wanted to keep growing. So, I want them also to know how important it is to grow. And fourthly, to develop a positive outlook towards life. This is also very important, because I feel even self confidence, it impacts so many things. And believe me or not, like, it also impacts how you look to a certain extent. And I'm not joking when I say this, but when I was a teenager, and when I felt I did not look good, that was there. But later on, I started working on myself, and when I started feeling good about myself, I realized I actually started looking better. And very recently, I came across a few photos of mine, a few pictures of mine from my teenage years. And I looked at those pictures, and I was so very surprised, because I looked really sad in them. I I was not able to believe that is how I look, because I don't know, I saw those pictures after ages. And I did know, obviously, I was not too happy at that time, and there were so many things going on. But I had not seen my picture recently, and when I saw those pictures, I was really surprised, because I looked so sad. And then I realized, oh God, my how I felt life was at that point was so very different. And today I know that life does have difficulties for everyone at some point of time, but I know that it will get better someday. So I have developed that positive outlook towards life, and I want to make sure that, or at least try, actually, not if not make sure to inculcate that in these youngsters as well. Okay. So I had also analyzed the strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and strengths, threats of my project, and I would like to share them with you. So a few of the strengths are that firstly, it is this project is based on my personal experience, and I do know that I have gone a long way from where I started, and obviously there is a long way to go. And it's not like I'm the best or something, but I know that maybe I can bring a even a small impact in these children's life, and if I can make them so self-reliant that they would want to help themselves and grow themselves, that would be really really great, like so that is one of the strengths. And secondly, my project does not involve any funds because I will be doing this on my own. It's not like I'll be charging the children or the NGOs, and neither will they be charging me. And also apart from that, I do know a few people who will be more than happy to help me out, like my family members or even my friends. So there will be no investment in this project as such. So that's a good aspect, because I don't need to go out and look for people to fund my project. So that is there. And there are a few opportunities as well. One is that, as I mentioned, that the awareness of mental health, importance of mental health is increasing. Also nowadays, people are realizing that it is very important to keep developing your skills or keep growing, because you can't stay where you are. You can't be like the frog in a pond, and who's not moving at all. You need to move around, you need to grow. So that is a good thing. I feel that the NGOs that I approach, they may be they could be very happy about this, because everyone's realizing the importance of these things, about being self-aware, about being confident, and about mental health as well. And the second thing is collaboration, because even in my cohort, I don't know if you guys attended the other presentations or not, but there were quite many presentations that I won't say they were same, like the target group was different and many things are different. But these many of these presentations were similar in many aspects. And I'm sure even if we go outside and if we check, there'll be like so many programs which may be like mine. Maybe they might not be free, they might be charging or something of that sort, but they may be similar. So I don't want to see these projects or these people as threats, but instead I want to see them as opportunities to collaborate. Because I'm sure that I would be more than happy to help people from my cohort, or even if there's someone else, and I know they would do the same for me. So that is another opportunity for my project. And one of the weaknesses that I could think of was that I don't know when I can be able to start this project because of Corona. And I really do hope that I can do it soon, but I really don't want to take it online. And I'm like, you know, pretty sure I want to do it offline only. So yeah, it may take like 5 or 6 months or maybe more than that. So that is one of the weaknesses. And coming to the threats, firstly, there may be a lot of triggers in the students or in me, because this is a very sensitive topic, and many a times, even when I speak about it, I get very emotional, or maybe the students may get emotional. So, since this is a very sensitive topic, there can be triggers. And I'm not very experienced. Of course, this would be like the first time if I would be taking this up, whenever I'll be taking this up. And yeah, there will be people around to help me out, like the people from the NGOs, and I'm sure my mentors as well. But still, it's like a little it is a threat. And there may be students who may want to drop out of the course because of this, because there may be some trigger which they feel is very severe, and they would say like, oh no, we don't want to go ahead with this. So that can be another threat, students dropping off because of triggers or something of that kind. So that is there. And also taking you through the plan of action. So the first thing obviously that I'll have to do would be to approach relevant NGOs. I do have a few NGOs in mind, and I would be talking to them and pitching my plan, explaining to them how this project will help the students and why they should go ahead with it and why I would be a good choice. So once I do that, and I'm I have convinced some NGO and I've got my students, I would also have to think of timings and days, etc. I will have to work this out with the NGO and obviously with the teenagers who are there who will be part of my program. After that, I would want to assess the group, because everyone is so very different. No two people can be similar. So I would obviously have to see what the batch needs, like what are their goals, what are their requirements from this project of mine, and I would have to see all that and develop a plan accordingly, like what I'm going to teach, etc. I'll have to develop that according to the students, because obviously I can't say that this is a box, everyone has to fit in this. I'll have to develop something according to those students, so that will have to be done next. And I don't want to keep a very big batch, firstly because this is the first time that I'll be doing this. So initially I want to start with a small batch and I want to give them ample amount of time. So I've thought of 12 sessions, and that will be over 3 months. This was also the same as our youth leadership session. So and I felt that was really good, and it was, obviously I would have wanted it to go on and on, but it was really good. Those 12 sessions over 3 months helped me a lot. So the sessions and the number of hours, etc., I plan to keep it somewhat similar. Like we had approximately 1.5 2 hours of sessions. So for this also I plan to keep around 2 hours of sessions, 12 sessions over 3 months. And I'll see if there may be a requirement to increase the sessions or something. Then I'll see it how, according to how it goes. So that's there. Plus, I will start with a cohort of 5 people, because initially I want to see how comfortable I'm with it, because it will take time for me also. Obviously, this would be the first batch, and max to max in the first batch, I'll take 10 people, not more than that. And maybe later on, when I'm more comfortable and I know I can handle more teenagers, then I may increase the size later on. So this is there. Also, now I'll be talking about the sessions that will be covered in my project. Firstly, I would want to provide a safe space to the teenagers, because I don't want them to feel like they're being judged, or that they can't share with me. So that is very important. Creating a bond is very important with them, because only when someone is comfortable with you, then that is only when they will share, or they'll be okay with with coming for these sessions. Otherwise they'll feel that we don't want to talk about our fears, or we don't want to talk about our goals or anything, and then this will not be helpful at all. Because firstly, if I plan to help them, they will have to let me do that, and for that they will have to open up to me, and they'll have to tell me what they feel. So that is really important. So that will be what I'll be offering, a safe space. And the sessions covered, as I mentioned earlier as well, mental health, I feel it is really very important, because finally at the end of the day, what helped me come out of my low self-confidence was yoga, I would say. Because I started doing yoga when I was 13, and that helped me a lot. When I started seeing, as I mentioned, I used to be really chubby as a kid, and that was one of the things that made me conscious. So doing yoga, I saw a lot of positive changes in me, and not only like physically, even mentally I started changing. And yoga has become something that is so very important for me, that even if I have something very important, I don't miss yoga. And it has become such an integral part of my life that sometimes if I'm not able to do it, I feel like something's missing. And it's been like some 12 13 years since I started doing yoga. So that is there. And mental health is important, so that will be one of the sessions that would be covered. And also there'll be I would make them do activities, or make them find out activities that help them expressing themselves. So for instance, in my case, yoga is one of them, as I mentioned. Another is also cooking. I love cooking, and whenever I feel stressed, or even if I'm very busy, I just love cooking, and it helps me relax so much. So these are some things that help me express myself, and I would help these teenagers find things that help them express themselves, or something that they like doing. Because if you do something that you really like, I think it just changes your energy, and it makes you such a happy person to some extent, and that is really important. So plus, apart from this, there'll be self-reflective exercises, because as I mentioned, it is very important to be self-aware. So these exercises are aimed at making people aware of their beliefs, their values, and a lot more, their strengths, weaknesses. And this is also something pretty similar that we had done in our youth leadership program. And as I mentioned, I have always been someone, not always, but since quite some time, I've been someone who likes being aware of myself. But these exercises that I went through, they helped me become so very self-aware. And there were so many things that I did not know. Actually, I did not even know what values were. And when I got to know what these were, I realized there were so many decisions I've taken in my life. And though I did not know about it, though they were very unconscious, I realized that they were because of my values. And had I known all these things when I was a teenager, it would have helped so very much. So I will be explaining all these things to them, and I'll be trying to help them find out their values, their beliefs, their passions, and so much more. Lastly, I would be telling them about the power of goal setting, because we all know that many people, they have goals and many don't. It's not wrong to not have goals, but surely when you do have goals, there is a direction in which you have to go. And it's not necessary that you will reach there. Maybe you will reach there later than planned. Maybe you may not reach there, but at least you'll know that you were putting in your efforts in the right direction. And I have seen this many a times with me as well, that when I was uh, the individual who was not confident at all, and who would just shy away from everything, at that point I was not too ambitious. I did not have any goals at all. But slowly, when I started seeing changes in myself, even if they were really small, and when I developed confidence that okay, maybe I can do something, I started setting goals. And many a times I would achieve them, and many a times I would achieve more than what I had planned for. And it would really make me happy. It would make me believe that yeah, I can do this. Okay. And many a times I have seen that I have failed as well. And obviously that is not easy. But even if you set a goal, and if you don't if you're not able to achieve that, that failure also teaches you something very important. So irrespective of whether the goal you've set, if whether you're able to achieve it or not, it is very important to set goals. And I do want to tell these teenagers about this, maybe through my personal experience, and even ask them what their goals are and help them try to achieve them. Because I through so many years, I have learned a lot of techniques, a lot of tricks that have helped me in goal setting, and a lot of other things. So I would want to share these with them, because I'm into a lot of spirituality also, you can say, since the past 10 years almost. So yeah, I have learned a lot of techniques, a lot of things, and I would want to share these with these kids. So yeah, I do not know when I can start this project, but I hope it is super soon, because it is something that is very important for me. And my values align with this project, and I'm really very passionate about it, because growth is the one of the biggest values of mine, apart from learning as well. And these two things are a very important part of this project, and I do like helping others, and through this project I want to be able to do that. So yeah, thank you for being so patient and listening to me. Yeah.